Hey Buns, today we got live letter 70, and with it the new trailer for patch 6.1, which I will link to in the description box down below. Now, I would say this trailer is mildly spoilery. It has footage from the new trial, which I think is somewhat spoilery, so I'm going to talk about the new extreme trial near the end of this video. Pay attention to the video chapters for that specific I think it's mildly spoilery content. With that said, let's get to the recap because patch 6.1 is looking stacked. There is so much content in this patch. It is huge. There is a lot to talk about. So I'm going to be referencing not only the live letter from today, but also the Famitsu interview that Yoshi gave yesterday. So that's a lot of extra info that I'm going to put in here too, all mixed up, consolidated for convenience here. So thank you again to the FF14 subreddit Discord for your unofficial translations as always. So of course we are going to be getting lots of main story coming with the patch 6.1 called A Newfound Adventure. And in this JP interview from yesterday, Yoshi said that the devs were faced with the question of what's even left after the long journey that we went through in patch 6.0, and they wanted to deliver the message of there's still many new challenges lying ahead. There's still a lot left for you to explore and to be excited about. And he cited Star Wars as a reference for the starting point of this new saga that's starting with this patch. He said a direct, straight to the point, easy to digest starting point. And so as you adventure through these unexplored places, you will discover your next main objective. And they do plan to reveal what that is. And you're also not going to be completely cut off from all of the characters that you've met along the way. But it is going to be, like I said, a new saga starting now. There's a new role quest with an additional storyline that you can access only after finishing all of the existing Endwalker role quests, sort of like we had in Shadowbringer, so we'll probably have some additional Endwalker lore there. And there's the new side quest series, Tataru's Grand Endeavor. Now, this one's not actually coming out with the patch, but will release a little bit later in 6.1x, and that's because Yoshi said it might throw you off a little bit if you do this side quest concurrently with the new main scenario quests. Tataru's Grand Endeavor is intended to thank all of the NPCs who have contributed to the stuff that happened in 6.0. So if you've played through 6.0, you know what this is referring to. And the scale of this side quest is similar to the experience that you had with building a Talos back in Shadowbringers. And since this is all about thanking all the people that helped you along the way and helped you in 6.0, there are some conditions attached. So if you didn't complete the Four Lords side quest, for example, from Stormblood, then those NPCs are not going to appear in the side quest. So doing old side quests will unlock more story within the new Tataru's Grand Endeavor side quest series. So basically, you need to go back and do every quest, dungeon, trial, and raid, and side quest in the whole game before you do these quests. Basically. There's a new Hildebrand story quest in patch 6.15, and Yoshi said it's going to be very silly. It's going to mark the beginning of a new saga for Hildebrand, and there's going to be new quests to the Omega storyline. So if you haven't finished the Omega raids, you're going to want to do that now. New custom delivery quests are going to be added in 6.15 for Emiliance. So yes, it's confirmed that you will be able to dress her up however you wish when you're done with those quests. Emiliance, I'm so sorry. Onto the duty support system. So this is a new feature that's going to help out new players by giving you AI bots to run stuff for you. I mean, with you. Yoshi went into Totorak with his group, and it looked like the party members took out 2 mobs before he even started attacking. And so maybe you actually can just let them run it for you, similar to how squadrons can work if you're extremely lazy. I do recall, and though in a previous live letter they said that dungeons that are not part of the main story will not be supported. I can actually show you a list of all the content that will be available in the duty support system. So as I mentioned, yeah, the dungeon here, that's actually Totorak. It looks considerably better. Yoshi said that you will probably encounter some of these changed dungeons in your leveling roulette, and some of them have minor changes though, like Hawk Manor. You don't have to do /return anymore to get back to the entrance. So yeah, it looks like Totorak got a Toto renovation. The duty support system is similar to Trust, only the game will choose your teammates for you based on your job, instead of you just being able to choose who you want to run with. So I think this is going to help a lot for new players who are a bit shy about jumping into group content when they're only level 15, like versus Stasha, like not ready to do that right away. And for some of the more important Realm Reborn story dungeons that like so much story builds up to the climax of getting to some of these dungeons, and you don't want to feel rushed in a huge crazy mob like rushing through. And so I think that for new players, it's going to be a much better experience, but it does mean the days of Netflix roulette are coming to an end. There will be a new dungeon, and it is confirmed that we will continue to only get one new dungeon per patch, just like how it was in Shadowbringers. This is a little bit of a bummer for people who remember Stormblood or Heavensward when we got more new dungeons throughout the lifetime of an expansion. But this new dungeon, I think you can see it in the patch trailer. It certainly looks Thavnarian. There's like gold and treasure laying around. So I think it's a treasure hunting type adventure lore-wise that we're going on. One of the bosses will be turning your Mikotes in your party into little Puritos. The new Unreal trial will be Ultima's Bane Unreal, and Yoshipi said that there will be new rewards for the Unreal this time that are going to be better, so that's good. I know I complained a lot about Unreal rewards in the past. Originally, though, they actually wanted to pick one of the Warring Triad primals, like Sophia's, Irvin, Sephiroth, but they decided to go with Ultima because they felt with the refresh of the Realm Reborn content that we're getting in this patch, it would be more fitting. Though I wonder if by not picking a Warring Triad primal, they managed to Sephiroth a time. As for the new Extreme Trial that will be added, it is the Extreme Trial version of the final story boss of Endwalker. So when Yoshipi was showing us the arena, he said to look away if you haven't finished Endwalker. And so considering all that, I'm going to put this section at the end of the video about this Extreme Trial. So please reference the video chapters to see it. Now patch 6.1 will also give us the new Alliance raid, Myths of the Realm, Part 1. Now it looks absolutely spectacular. He did show us a little bit of the interior of the raid, and we can kind of hear some relaxing music.
何やらこう美しい宮殿のような、綺麗ですね。本当綺麗。
This Alliance raid, he said, does share story elements with the epilogue of the Hydaelyn Zodiac saga. So you'll be exploring the 12 and the old history of Eorzea. Very interesting. I wonder what exactly that means, where exactly we will go to do this content. Yoshipi said that it might feel similar in terms of overall play feel to Return to Iblis, actually. And that is a little bit concerning because it looks like, according to the patch trailer, like you are going to be encountering another thunder god, like another god associated with lightning. And so I don't know how many of you remember what Thunder God was like on release for Iblis, but actually maybe Byra God can repair your gear for you. I do see him in the patch trailer. You see his hammers with his symbol on them. You also can see Ralgur the Destroyer. That's the aspect of lightning god, patron god of monks. You can see his big ass fist punching through the whole arena. And I see Azema, the warden. I'm sure that's her. And I see scales of Nald Thal. Nald Thal being the twin god of commerce and the afterlife. Nald is for the living. Thal is for the dead. Though I do remember at a fan fest, Koji Fox once admitted that he split Nald Thal into Nald and Thal so that he could get the phrase Thal's balls into the game. That's a true story. They did show us the new gear from these Alliance raids on pieces of paper, yes, and in this case it's kind of bad because they're really bright and a bit hard to see, but yeah, the tank set has a see-through cape, which I think is really cool. That's a Yara, by the way, you can see with a new hairstyle. Well, it's not a new hairstyle, but it's new to Yara. Haven't seen that available to Yara yet, so that's cool. I personally really like the tank set and caster and healer sets. Like, it's obvious that those are for caster and healer. So, as for the Dragon Song War Ultimate Raid, it's going to release 2 weeks after patch 6.1 in patch 6.11. And the weapons will, as always, have some cool special effects. He said these are going to be really standout, awesome special effects on the weapons. And, however, it better be awesome because he warned us that unless you are a world first raider, this is going to take you about 4 to 5 months to prog and clear this fight. Now, if you're a casual and you have the attitude of, oh, let's just take it easy and clear, well, you can up that estimate to 7-8 months. Who knows? Who knows how long? It's going to take you half a year if you're a casual. So he did say that there's going to be mechanics that'll make you say, I understand how this works, but I can't get past it. It's not going to be so much of riddle solving and once you figured out the puzzle, then it's pretty much easy to go through it. It's more going to be just hitting this wall, I guess, where you're just going to have to get good to get past it. So it's going to be absolutely brutal content. Now, a second ago, I think we saw a little peek at a new hairstyle that might be available for Yara soon. But they also showed us new hairstyles for Hrothgar. Unfortunately, their ears are missing in all of them. They showed us several different ones and none of them have ears showing. Yoshimi said that the ears were hiding underneath the hair, but I really don't think that flies here because none of these hairstyles are poofy enough for that to make any sense. So yeah, I saw some people asking if this was an April Fool's Day joke, but I do not think it is. So yeah, I really hope that they listen to feedback from players on this, but I mean, how can they without ears? Glamour plates number will be increased to 20 and you'll be able to apply them at any sanctuaries. Pretty much anywhere you can teleport, you can put on a glamour plate. So moving on to job adjustments. So I have to make something very clear here. This is not a comprehensive list of changes, and the jobs mentioned here are not the only ones that will get changes. Almost every job is going to get some sort of adjustment. So if you don't see a change that you want here, then that doesn't mean that it's not coming, or a change that you don't want doesn't mean that that's not coming. So this is just a taste to whet the appetite, so to speak. A bit of info just to sustain us until the full list of changes will be in the patch notes. So with that said, potency buffs for Machinist confirmed. Samurai will have Kaiten removed, but your Midare and Kaishi Setsugeka and your Ogi and Kaishi Namikiri will now be guaranteed critical hits. So I'm sure a lot of Samurai will be happy about that. Ninja's Trick Attack will no longer buff party damage, but will only increase the ninja's damage. So rip to Trick Attack, but Moog will now buff everybody's damage to a target on a 120-second recast. So that's going to be your new party buff that you're offering the group. As for Dark Knight, they are changing Living Dead so that the Walking Dead portion of Living Dead will have a sort of lifesteal effect. It's going to restore HP by a significant amount upon successfully landing attacks. Now, we do not know how much this potency will be. We don't know how much it's going to heal for. If it's a low potency heal, then you're still going to be highly dependent on the healer to heal you up after you use Living Dead. But if it's a lot, then as it says, it's a significant amount, then I feel like you might heal yourself up too early and then not get the full duration out of your invuln, which I think kind of sucks. But overall, this is my opinion, compared to the other tanks' immunity buttons, this could still be a pain in the ass. Summoner's Searing Light will now be cast directly from the summoner instead of the carbuncle. Dragoons will have some skills repurposed and readjusted to cut down on button bloat, and Dragoons jump animation locks will at long last be shortened. That's been a long time coming. Also, Ninja and Red Mage will also have some reduced animation locks. Warrior will also be adjusted in some unspecified way, which they didn't say yet. All healers will be getting MP changes, so skills will cost less. White Mage's Cure 3 and Asylum will have a bigger radius, and Lily Bell can now be ended at will to restore HP depending on how many stacks you have left whenever you pop it, whenever you destroy the Lily Bell. So, I mean, that's good, but I was personally kind of hoping for some improvements to Lily spenders, but like I said, this is not a comprehensive list of changes, and Scholar Sprint has been heavily nerfed. Expedience is now 10 seconds, down from 20 seconds, and so I think this is a huge nerf intended to make Sage more attractive to prog parties. Also, jobs that are at a low level feeling too empty will be adjusted. Basically, they're going to let you get certain skills earlier on some jobs if the low level experience for that job just sucks. I said it a million times, it's worth repeating. Patch notes will tell us the full story. We should expect to see patch notes on April 11th. The new Beast Tribe quests are for the Arcasadra, and their mount appears to be a hippo carriage. So that's what you get for helping the elephants. the little hippopotamus carriage. I guess after you complete enough tusks for that. He also showed us some other mounts. So there's the troll mount that is not from Beast Tribe Quest. It's just from somewhere else. Of course, he didn't want to specify, but it is a video game, so finding a troll shouldn't be too hard. Another mount, the bird that we had seen in Zadnor, I think, as a Fate boss, but that was the last expansion, so it's not going to be from Zadnor. It's not going to be from Zadnor. Also, a dino with a canopy and the pod, the Nier pod mount that people have been asking for ever since the Nier raids released. So that's awesome. I wonder, he said it's easy to obtain. So I wonder if he's going to stick it in the Nier raids. I'm not sure. We'll see. As for minions, we saw a cheap little toy car. Looks like Nero driving it. There's a minion that looks like it's from the dungeon. Looks like the dungeon, one of the dungeon bosses from the patch trailer. Dreadnought, a kangaroo, a little Pomeranian type little pupper, and a booby. Can I show a booby on YouTube? We're doing it. There's a new idle pose for holding your parasol, which looks a lot better, but is not going to help with getting the rain off of your head. New fashion accessory of glasses and sunglasses too, though sunglasses, Yoshi was like, that doesn't look like a healer that would heal you right. It's like the sunglasses from so much glare. They showed us a new glamour set, but it was really hard to see on the white paper that it was printed out on. So I would keep checking the special site for 6.1. Sometimes they like to post the renders on there before the patch. So just keep an eye on the special site. Maybe you'll be able to see it better there. I'll link to that below, or maybe on the FF14 Instagram. They post on there sometimes. There's a new feature that's only available in the inn where you can preview items in the Moog Station, how they will look on your character. Now, a few weeks ago, Yoshi said that he didn't really want to implement this feature. And he knows that there are some players who would go so far as to say, let me buy this in the game. But he really doesn't want to put the cash shop in the game. So even though it makes sense from a business perspective, that's not something that he wants to do. And I mean, I personally think that this feature is fine. Like, I think it's fair. It is more fair to allow players to try stuff on first before they spend their money on it. So they have a better idea of what it is, how it will actually look on their character before they spend their money. He showed us a preview of some glamour that should be on the Moog Station at some point. And this feature overall is called Dream Fitting. So it's dreaming about having money to burn, I guess. Now on to the new Ishgard housing. So there is a detailed explanation of how the new purchase system will work that's on Lodestone, and I'm going to link to that below. I'll also link to the clip where I went over that with everybody on stream. But in short, the lottery system for house purchasing is going to be added to all of the residential districts, not just Ishgard. And so you will just go to the plot you want, put your money in the placard, and pray. And so you are no longer, like, the days of the desperate measures of you just sitting at your computer clicking nonstop and not getting up to go eat or sleep or use the bathroom, just crouching over a bucket. Those days are over. So you can stop punishing your organs and your clicker finger, and we can stop rewarding the clicker bots, the auto clicker bots. They've also showed us some new housing exteriors, gingerbread houses of various kinds and colors. So Ishgard is going to be like a candy land, I assume. There's also new housing items, a really, really nice bed. Onto adventurer plates. So I'm extremely excited about this feature. It looks very cool. This is a highly customizable character portrait, and you can unlock all kinds of different frames and backgrounds and stuff from just doing content. Like, I think there's an ultimate frame that you can unlock for yourself, and you can pose your character for it. There has like a little bit of a G-pose type system within it, built in, that you can use to pose your character for the portrait. Basically, it's amazing, and I think it's going to be a huge time sink for a ton of people. One thing that was extremely cool is that you can see other people's adventure plates in PvP when you load into the match. So I think that's a really good segue into our next section where I'll show you the clip where you can see the other people's plates. So yes, the new PvP Crystalline Conflict, that's the name of the new PvP mode. It looks really good. It was very fun to watch Yoshi do this. It's basically Overwatch, and all the job actions for PvP have been completely changed. Like, everything's changed. Every job has its own personal limit break now. And we saw what looks like a white mage death laser in the patch trailer. I think in the match that YoshiP did on stream, you can see him getting deleted by a white mage blasting him with the death laser. And I also saw in the patch trailer what looks like a dancer charm ability, which is like peak dancer job fantasy for me. And it's also exciting to see some more crowd control abilities coming into play and being important for PvP. So I'm super hyped on this. Rival Wings, by the way, is going to be on hiatus till patch 6.1 for balancing though. Crystalline Conflict is a 5v5 match where you just get on the point, you get on the payload. Like in Overwatch, and it's very fast paced. It's only 5 minutes per match, and you can sprint as much as you want until you cast a spell or a skill, until you attack. And I will link to the point in the VOD in the description box where YoshiP started the match with the dev team, so if you want to just watch the 5-minute match, you can. But they did not go easy on him at all. It was really so much fun to watch. I just can't wait for it. So the reward system has gotten a much needed overhaul as well. And they're going to be series that are updated with every major patch. So series 1 starts with patch 6.1, series 2 starts with patch 6.2, and so on. You will get XP from all the PvP content that you do. And you will see in the top right of the screen here how much XP you need to reach the next stage. And every level up will grant you the next reward. Now, the new currency is trophy crystals. You can use them in the Wolves Den like just normal currency like Gil. And they showed us the gear set that you can get in Series 1 when you reach level 25, and it looks absolutely amazing. Now, when patch 6.2 comes, your level will be reset and the rewards will change, but the trophy crystals that you've earned will stay. So if you didn't make it in time, then you can still use these crystals to buy the rewards from the previous series. They'll stay for one additional patch, but then they will be gone after that. Now, as for the ranking system, there's different sub-levels within each tier. You can rank up in sub-levels by winning games. That gives you gold stars. And once you max out on gold stars within a sub-level and you win, then you rank up. So that's how you move through the sub-levels and then also through the different tiers. You cannot drop down a tier. So once you've reached silver, you cannot go back down to bronze. So like no smurfing is going to be happening. But the highest tier, which is crystal, that has a little bit different rules. In the crystal tier, your ranking will be determined by the amount of crystal credit in your possession. And the credit is gained or lost depending on the outcome of matches. So it's more of an MMR system for the crystal highest tier. So to recap, the time between patch 6.1 and patch 6.2 will be PvP Series 1. And for ranked, there will be 2 seasons in between 6.1 and 6.2. Now, that ranking is only applying to Crystalline Conflict, while for the normal PvP Series 1, you can level up just by doing any PvP content and getting that PvP XP. In other PvP news, the Garo collaboration event is returning. So some previously unobtainable mounts and gear will soon be available again. And finally, here is the mildly spoilery section that I saved for the end of this video to talk about the new extreme trial that they're adding, the Endsinger's Aria. So YoshiP got in the game and he showed us around the arena a little bit, and he said this battle is about true hope versus true despair. That is, the concept for the battle is crushing hope with overwhelming despair. With that in mind, some of the mechanics in this extreme will tread on savage level difficulty. And if players complain that it's too hard, YoshiP will just say, I'm sorry, but this is the last boss. And so yes, he's prepared to tell people to deal with it. Just get good, get better. But you do get 2 totems for clearing this fight. So I'm really looking forward to it. As for the final announcements, so data center travel will be available in patch 6.18. Cross-region travel will be locked though, so there's still not going to be EU to NA yet. But YoshiP did say that he wants to add cross-region travel, but first he's just going to take it slow, do this like, see how things go bit by bit. I think that's the right way to handle it because there are some cultural considerations at play. People who play on different data centers might play the game in different ways and have different player etiquettes. So it's better to sort of monitor the situation and not overwhelm people with a dramatic shift. The new Primals album will be for sale on May 25th, so stay tuned to Lodestone for more information about that. The Primals concert will be live in Japan June 4th and 5th, if you're lucky enough to be in Japan for that. The art book for Endwalker will release September 13th, but you can already pre-order it right now. The wearable gaming speaker is going up for sale, and you can check the link on the screenshot here if you're interested in that. Yoshi is going to read the patch notes for patch 6.1 on April 11th, only in Japanese though, of course, and the maintenance for patch 6.1 will be 24 hours, as I told you at the start of this video. So that is all the information for patch 6.1. I know this is probably a long video, but there's a lot to cover here, so I just wanted to get into all of it, and I'm happy to finally make a video about Final Fantasy 14 after a lot of horrible things have happened between now and the last time I was able to make a video about Final Fantasy 14. So again, I really want to thank all of you who have been supporting me on Patreon and on Twitch that have allowed me to continue making content. I cannot thank you enough for that. It means the world to me. So thank you for that very much. With that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.